Now David is king, he still often thinks about the past. He remembers his best friend Jonathan, who died. But he also remembers that he had promised his friend to be good for his family. So on a certain day, David asks his servants, "Is there anyone still left of the family of Saul and Jonathan to whom I can show kindness?" The servants know about a man with the name Ziba. He is still a servant of Saul's household. He is summoned to appear before David. And the king says to him, "Are you Ziba?" He replies, "At your service." Then the king asks, "Is there no one still alive from the family of Saul to whom I can show God's kindness?" How nice that David wants to do what he has promised in the past. Ziba answers the king, "There is still a son of Jonathan. His name is Mefiboseth. He is lame in both feet." Do you know why? It is so sad. When he was a little boy from only 5 years old, there was war in the country. Remember the war where his father Jonathan died. When that news came to his home, a nurse picked him up and fled. But as she hurried to leave, he fell and became disabled. Now King David asks, "Where is he?" Mephibosheth lives far from the palace, but David says, "Bring him to me." What does Mephibosheth think when he hears that he needs to come to the palace? Well, he has to obey the king. When he comes to David, he bows down to pay him honor. The king says, "Mephibosheth." "At your service," he replies. "Don't be afraid," David says to him, "for I will surely show you kindness for the sake of your father Jonathan, my friend. I will give you back all the land that belonged to your grandfather Saul, and you will always eat at my table." Mephibosheth is so surprised, he bows down again. Then the king speaks to Ziba, the servant of Saul, and says to him, "I have given your master's grandson everything that belonged to Saul and his family. You and your sons and your servants are to farm the land for him. You need to bring in the crops so that your master's grandson may be provided for. And Mephibosheth, he will always eat at my table." Then Ziba answers the king, "Your servant will do whatever you command me to do." Mephibosheth knows this is all grace. This is all out of love. We can also live from grace, the grace of our Lord Jesus. Do you know that he invites people to sit at his table as well? Would you like to be so close to Jesus? Ask him for his grace. Jesus never refuses anyone who comes to him. From that day on, Mephibosheth lives in Jerusalem, because he always eats at the king's table. Yes, his life has changed so much. Grace is always life-changing. When Jesus gives you grace, your life will never be the same as before.